Okay, welcome. I'm live. Okay, South Coast, welcome. E. Carter, welcome. Henry, welcome. All right, guys, we're here. Let's have some fun. I'll just give it a minute or two for people to start coming in, and then we're going to get started. Let's enjoy and just give you a little bit of the sight. One of my places of meditation where I go to meditate. Just wanting to take a look at that. Okay. Okay. All right, everyone. Can you guys hear me now? Press one if you can hear me now. And hear me now. Oh, beautiful. Okay. All right. I'm just waiting for some more people to come in. Okay. Kimberly, welcome. Mike, welcome. Okay. So today, before we get started, this week is school. Thursday and Friday is school. And I made the change to the website for Friday. Friday is going to be from 8 to 10 from now on. Let me say that again. Friday school, our spiritual university, is going to be from 8 to 10, not 10 to 12. I made the change on the website and I saw that it changed back. So I'm going to have to make that change again. I don't know why it changed. So press one if everyone understands that from now on, Friday night's class is from 8 to 10 before we get started. Okay, great. Wonderful. It's not 10 to 12, it's 8 to 10. I made the change, and for some reason it clicked back to 10 to 12. No. Going forward, Friday night is from 8 to 10. Let me make that clear. And Thursday is the same. Thursday is from 12 to 2. Okay? So if you haven't reserved your spot for class, be there. Okay? All right, great. Let's get started. And again, Afro, welcome. And again, we're just doing some quick commercials here. And again, if we can get the numbers up for class, let's say we're looking at like maybe 50 to 100 people, whatever. I want to keep the price at 25 because I want people to be able to take these classes, because going forward, you're going to need it. Okay? I do these things to help everyone, and I try to do these things in a way that's affordable. The only thing that's just a little bit steep, and it's not that steep, come to think about it, when you compare my prices to others, my prices are really low. But the only thing that's still cost a little money, which is not a lot of money at all, is the consultation, the private consultation. Okay, Nyasha, welcome. Again, Nyasha, let me say this again, because some people are going to miss it. Friday night class is no longer 10 to 12. Going forward, it is 8 to 10 on Friday. 8 to 10 on Friday. night. Okay? Thursday still the same, 12 to 2. Friday it's 8 to 10. Okay? And this week's group training, this week's university is on these experiments that are being conducted in schools. Okay? Not what you think it is. Okay? They're really not what you think it is. Chanelli, welcome. Okay? All right, so I hope to see everyone there. And everyone, if you can, invite a friend because I'm trying to get the numbers up to like 50 to 100 people. And if I can get it up to 100 people taking the class Thursdays and Friday night, then I can keep the price at a reasonable price. Okay, so that way we can both help and benefit each other. Please talk about monkeypox. Nyasha, I don't talk about those things. You have everybody else. Thank you for bringing up the subject, but you have everyone else to talk about those things. Here is what I will tell you. I will tell you this, okay? I will tell you this because everyone is on the latest trend about what's going on, okay? And these trends, I'm gonna talk about this for 2 minutes. Marcia, welcome. Nayasha, thank you for the question. Everyone is on the latest trend. People, when you jump from trend to trend to trend to trend, and the new trend is germ games, okay? This is what Bill Gates said he would do. The new trend is germ games. When you jump from trend to trend to trend, from the koof, okay, to the war with Ukraine, okay, to gas shortages, to food shortages, they are trending you. And here's the problem with trends. I want you guys to get this, okay? The problem when you have become trendy, that you destroy your long-term memory. Okay, so they just bumped me off. Okay, that's one of the new things they do. Okay, everyone press 1 if you can hear me. Guys, stick to the topic. Okay, guys, stick to the topic. Let me just make it quick. So what they do with these trends, right, is they would release a new conflict, either nationally or internationally. A whole bunch of people would get damaged and killed and destroyed. It's like a micro war, okay? Then, before people can begin to grasp the damage that's being done, they change the news cycle onto something else. Is everyone understanding that? We're already 11 minutes. I'm not staying on this topic longer than that. Okay? So they would literally change the cycle. Pelesh, welcome. And the people who are left alive, their long-term memory gets destroyed. And it's a good question, Ayasha. But stick to topic. When I give a topic for the live stream, I don't want to veer off topic, right? So I'm not saying not to pay attention to the new trend of what they're doing. I say pay attention to it. I say get information to protect yourself and move on. Do not follow news trends. That's what I'm saying, because it damages your long-term memory. Let me show you what I mean. There are millions dying right now from the past trend of the last 2 years. And many people are not paying attention to the millions who are now beginning to die because of the past trend, the trend from the last 2 years. You know why? Because the new hot trend is this Mpox. Is everyone understanding what I'm saying? So here's what you do with whatever trend that they're going to release to you in the news cycle. Your goal is to keep your long-term memory intact, okay? Keep your long-term memory intact. So every time they launch a new trend, which is a new micro war, because it's the goal of a global war has been stalled. So it's literally micro wars on the population. Okay? The wars are being done from a micro level on the population, right? You write it down and you write the date when they launched a new trend. So that way you can keep all of these micro wars and their timeline in your purview so that you don't forget. And remember, every new news feed that involves human death and human suffering, people die. Exactly, South Coast. That's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is. That is exactly what it is. The second thing I'm going to tell you before we start on the topic, because we already took too much time. The second thing that's important that we understand from the topic is that, let me tell you something, guys. Guys, humans and animals have been living side by side with each other for billions of years. Let me say this again. Humans and animals have been living side by side for billions of years. And no, the human race is not 5,000 years old. That is sheer ignorance. Okay? If animals to human viruses were as transmissible and as virulent and as pathogenic as they want you to believe, no humans would exist. Do you realize that animals outnumber humans? Like a 10-to-1 ratio? Don't get me started on insects. Press 1 if you understand what I'm trying to show you. Okay. So here comes some people, because the average person, and I'm not saying I'm skilled scientifically, I'm not, and I don't know everything about science. I haven't been in science for like over 20 something, maybe 30, no, 30 something. Okay, so I'm not an expert, but I do have common sense. Okay, I want you to understand something. Humans and animals have been living side by side with each other for billions of years. The human race is not 5,000 years old. That is sheer, unadulterated ignorance. If animal to human transmission in terms of viruses and pathogenicity, okay, meaning pathogens, toxicity, and they're deadly, was as frequent and as virulent as this news cycle is making you believe, no humans would exist. Animals outnumber humans. We would be extinct. So therefore, common sense is telling you when you use deductive reasoning, common sense would tell you that outbreaks between animals and humans, there would not be zoos, people. Is anyone on Earth today? Azania, welcome. Zoos would not exist, people. You know why? Why zoos would not exist? Because if animal to human transmissions were that virulent, okay, and can spread that easily, we'd all be dead because to a zoo. Seema, welcome. Gang's talking, stick to the topic. I'm going to say this one more time. When you come and stick to the topic or you will be deleted. Stick to the topic or you will be deleted. 1 timeout, 2 removed. Stick to the topic. People, we have monkeys in zoos. Do you realize that? We have petting zoos. Do you realize that? So we've had petting zoos and zoos for over 100 years. And there was never any monkeypox. Now all of a sudden it shows up. People, for the love of God, use your brains. Use your brains, people. We have petting zoos that you'd send children to for over 100 years. Animal to human transmission does not occur like that. Right? So with that said, let's move on. Okay? Okay. So my moderators, warn them once. Stick to the topic or get put in timeout. Second time, deleted. Stick to the topic because we're here to uplift people's spirit. Okay? Today's topic is about the Great Awakening. Why is this important to you? why it's important to me. And I'm going to tell you my opinion about the Great Awakening. Now, am I the utmost authority on the Great Awakening? The answer is no. I am not the utmost authority. On the Great Awakening, but I can speak to you about the Great Awakening because long before it occurred, many of us were already awake. Okay? One of the things about the Great Awakening that occurs, and the Great Awakening simply means that the masses wake up. Okay? There are those of us who were chosen to awaken before the Great Awakening. Okay? Let's clarify what the Great Awakening is. The Great Awakening is when the collective 8 billion people on the planet are pushed into a situation where they are forced to confront the lies. Is everyone in the building? The Great Awakening is when there is a collective awakening that occurs in the human consciousness, the human spirit. It awakens collectively. Okay? The second thing that occurs in the Great Awakening is that the amnesia, there is no coma that occurs without amnesia. I'm talking spiritually, not medically. Okay? When a person's spirit and a person's soul is in limbo, when a person's spirit and their soul is in a coma, okay, what occurs is that there is a lot of amnesia, amnesic walls that are put up, okay? And those amnesic walls are put there because things occurred and were erased. Abuses occurred and were erased. And because the person was alive but asleep, they never realized or paid attention to the fact that they have amnesia. Is anyone in the building? Amnesia is one of the greatest pieces of evidence that you're awake. Does anyone understand what I mean? When we talk about the Great Awakening is when your spirit wakes up to both the material world, the world that you can touch, taste, smell, feel, the 5 senses world, and your spirit awakens to the spirit realm. That is where you get your extrasensory perception and your psionic abilities. Okay? Now, between the material world and the spiritual world, you have amnesia. The amnesia is what is on this planet was using to keep you asleep. Is anyone on earth? Don't just hear what I'm saying. Hear what I'm saying. Don't just listen to what I'm saying. Listen to what I'm saying. Don't just hear what I'm saying. Better yet, don't just hear what I'm saying. Inner ear what I'm saying. Don't just understand what I'm saying. Understand what I'm saying. The difference between those who are asleep, so here he comes with the noise. There's a giant park. The park is 3 miles. And he leaves the entire park to come here and start making noise. But it's okay. So the difference between being asleep and being awake is amnesia. They cannot do what they're doing to you without amnesia. When you wake up, okay, let me tell you what occurs in the Great Awakening. There's 2 types that will awaken. Everyone is going to awaken. Okay? Everyone is going to awaken, but they awake in 2 ways. Everyone will awaken to the truth, but not everyone will awaken to ascension. Do you understand what I'm saying? To elevation. Do you understand what I'm saying? To infinite potential. To soul expression. Let me say that again. Everyone will awaken. Everyone, all 8 billion people are going to awaken. They're all going to wake up. Okay? But not everyone who wakes up will wake up to infinite potential, soul expression, elevation, and ascension. Everyone will wake up to see what is on this earth and how this earth is being ruled and everything that is going on. Let me show you what will happen with the 2 groups. And this is why it's important for you to understand the Great Awakening and how it affects you. One group will wake up. They will wake up from spiritual coma and they will realize that they have amnesic walls. Meaning, there will be holes and gaps in their spirit. And what that group will do is that group will begin to do the inner work to remove the bondages, to remove the entrapments, to remove the weight that has kept them in limbo and asleep, and they will go on to greater expansion of their spirit, what they call ascension. They will begin to do the internal work to have a greater external manifestation of the awakening. Notice what I said. Everybody will wake up, but they will wake up and do 2 things. One will see not just the darkness in the world, they will see the darkness in them. And they will begin the process of removing the darkness in them so that their spirit can grow and radiate with the true energy field that it should. Let's get to the second group who's going to wake up. They all wake up. Let me say that again. They all wake up. But the second group will wake up in a different way. The second group will wake up and go deeper into the coma. They will go deeper into denial. They will go deeper into rejection. They will go deeper into the darkness. They will go deeper into accepting what is destroying this part of the universe. Let me say it again. Everyone will wake up. And let me tell you, those who wake up and go deeper are awake to the darkness, but they don't want the darkness to change because they want the opportunities that the evil brings them. And they know that they cannot cross over to be with those who reject the darkness, because to them the opportunities will be scarce. Did anyone understand today's teaching? I am not saying that opportunities are bad. I am not saying there aren't riches to be gained in darkness. Oh no, some of the most precious jewels you will achieve is in the darkness. What I am saying is that you do not love the darkness and what darkness offers. But if you are thrust into it, you will fight to come out of it. And when you eventually make it out of the pit, you don't leave the pit empty-handed. The two groups that will awaken and how their awakening will look. The one group will awaken, and when they see the darkness for what it is, the first thing they do is they look inwards to remove the mirror image of the darkness in them. And when they remove the mirror, the reflection of the darkness in them, they begin to radiate. They begin to change. They glow. They sparkle. Their ways don't make sense. People will draw closer to the material world. They will draw closer to that which is spiritual. Does anyone understand what I'm trying to show you? While the world is moving towards the physical, those who are awakened and begin the process of removing darkness, they will draw closer to that which is spiritual. The second thing they will do is they will draw closer to the homeostasis that's left on this planet. What does that mean? They will want to be in tune. They will want to be in sync with the harmony that's on earth. That is the earth. They will want to be in harmony with the waters, with the trees, with the plants, with the animals. They will want to be in harmony with that which is natural. Those who truly experience the awakening will want to draw closer to people whose spirit is pure and whose actions are right. Those who awaken and awaken out of the matrix. When you have to calm down for a second. Thank you. Those who want to move closer to the awakening out of this system, yes, they will make money. Yes, they will gain wealth, but they will not gain wealth at the expense of others. They will work to eliminate greed, competition, jealousy, envy, tearing others down, dissension, discord, hatred, malice. You know why? Because when you awake, when you truly awaken the great awakening, if you are awaking with the mass conscious awakening, not those who were forerunners. I'm not talking about the forerunners. Some of us were the forerunners. I am talking about the great collective awakening that is here. The first thing you will do is begin to dig up the dregs in you. Here is my advice. If you are a part of the great awakening that is taking place now, not the great awakening of the people before who were called crazy, nutcases, and all the other derogatory terms. No, the great awakening now. If you're a part of the collective consciousness, okay, here are some of the things that will be challenged. Your belief in a God will be challenged. You know why? Because if those at the top really believe that God existed, they would never allow you to know. Do you understand what I just said? The whole concept of God was given to you by those who rule at the top. Anything they give you can never be good for you. Because the people who want to kill you can never give you life. The second thing that will be challenged is your religion, your religious beliefs. All that you've been taught in religion was to do one thing. Wind, can you give me a break for a minute? I'm almost done. Can you tone it down for a little bit? A new me, welcome, a new me. All that you were taught in religion is a lie. And might I say, a damned lie. Because, and I can say this with certainty, religion, as it is today, is a one-way channel of entities who hate humans and need to feed. And they needed a link between them and the humans they wanted to feed off of. And what they did is they took the pure essence of a person's desire to be one with their creator, usurped it, created religion as a channel with which to feed. Your religion and the way you practice religion will be challenged. Is everyone on earth today Did anyone hear what I said? Your concepts of government and systems and churches and NGOs will change when you truly awaken. Your concepts of media will change. Your concepts of those who walk and live among us on two legs, that will change. You will realize we are not the only two-legged being alone on earth. Is everyone hearing what I said? I'm talking about when you truly awaken. One of the first things you need to do before I move on, press 1 if you're alive and you're awake and you can hear me. Press 1. Thank you. Thank you. One of the first things you must do if you are the group who awakens and you see the darkness in you and you begin the process of removing the darkness that binds you on the food chain. Is anyone in the building today? If you are the part of the Great Awakening who are awaking in consciousness to the reality that this is a matrix, it is an illusion. Everything is a game and you're being hyper gamed and you want out because you want to ascend, you want to expand, you want to grow. One of the first things you must do is begin time alone by yourself, and you must recall writing down every negative, evil, disruptive action, course of action you've ever taken, and you must renounce it. Otherwise, you will still be on a channel as food for higher powers. Let me say that again. If you awaken and you want out, you want spiritual expansion, soul growth, ascension, deeper insight, deeper awareness, the first thing you must do is you must spend time alone, writing down every evil course of action you've ever taken that you can remember. And one by one, you must renounce. Some it may take weeks, some it may take months, some it may take years. Why must you do this? Because in the process of renouncing evil, evil thoughts, evil words, evil actions, and you're not perfect, you're going to curse some people out on this planet. I'm a realist. You begin to cut off the food supply. Is anyone on earth today? You begin to sever the cords of you being a link to higher entities for food. Did anyone hear what I just said? And lower entities for food. The human race has become a food source. And the first thing you must do is cut off yourself as a source of food to evil entities. The second thing you must do, if you are part of the group who have awakened and you want out, you must do a parasitic cleanse, meaning a parasite cleanse. Is anyone understanding English today? Press yes if you understand English. You must remove the parasites in you. Is anyone on this today? You can never be awake with stink think. Stink think or stinking thinking is parasitic overload. Parasites build up in the body, and people think that parasites in the body is just something physical. No, 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 no. It is very much spiritual. That is why when you begin to do the renunciation of evil thoughts, evil words, and evil course of action, you have to follow it up with a parasite removal. You got to clean your body of physical parasites, or you'll be back to square one. The third thing that happens in the Great Awakening, when you really wake up. By the way, the reason why you have to do a parasite cleanse, a parasite detox, is because parasites change the way you think. Is anyone on this today? When parasites are in a host, they don't just physically attack the body, but they release biochemicals to alter the way the host thinks, to create an environment sufficient for parasites to live. It is the same as when you wake up. You realize, oh my God, we the humans have become a race fit for parasites, cosmic parasites, galactic parasites, spiritual parasites, alien parasites, demonic parasites, to feed, to eat, to drink, and to consume. And everything they give us is on a parasitic wheel. And we keep going round and round and round and round in a circle. Because they keep us on a loop, a connection from the parasitic overlords to us. And they create a supply chain, a food supply chain, in which they eat our thoughts and give us new thoughts to keep feeding them. They alter our behavior and give us their behaviors. They alter our food and give us, and we are their food. You must clean your body of parasites, cenopods. Wormwood. I don't know what the others are called in English. Clove. clove powder. And there's a whole lot more you can do. You must, when you begin to purify the spirit in your awakening, meaning renouncing, taking the time alone. That includes all the sex partners you ever had. That includes if you ever stole from anyone, raped anyone, robbed anyone, lied on anyone. These, you see, people only think that it's only, oh, if I lied or I was a prostitute. No. Have you ever slandered anyone? Have you ever said anything about anyone that was not true? Then you're infected with parasites. And you are a host being fed upon and regenerated with the biochemicals of archonic parasites. They don't just take, they give. And what they give you is a biochemical mixture of toxins. They don't just take. Parasites don't just suck you. They give you, and they give you a biochemical mixture of toxins. If you slander, you have parasites. You know why? Because when a person is pure and clean and they're working to clean themselves on the inside, their tongue is quiet. Is anyone on earth? I said, is anyone on planet Earth today? Elizabeth, welcome. When a person, their spirit is being purified and regenerated, when they're going through the regeneration process, they are more inward. They are more inward, not snotty, not, what's the word I'm looking for? Not superficial. I mean, they're more looking at, oh, inward. What is going on in me? What are these changes? And the regeneration process begins inside. So they're looking more inward to repair the broken walls and the holes and the breaches. They're not looking at, oh, this person, oh, oh, why they dress like this? Oh, why they look like that? Oh, that's religion. Religion has never saved anyone. Regeneration has. Spiritual regeneration has. If you slander people, you have parasites. Your parasites are one of two things: actual parasites in your body, or you have a connection to archonic parasites and they're feeding. Do you understand what communication is? Do you understand what Wi-Fi is? What cells are? What the communication are? Do you understand what the internet is? The internet is tapping into the spirit realm. That's what the internet is. It's using hardware to tap into spiritware. And what it does is it draws from the spirit realm to the material world. And when you tap in, you participate directly with the ether. That's it. All of these towers going up here has nothing to do with faster internet. It has to do with controlling the entities in your city. Is anyone on earth today? The cell phone towers, cell phone antennas, microwave towers. It has nothing to do with faster communication. It's just better reception to control the powers that is in your city, in your state, over the water, and above your heads. Nothing more and nothing less. And when you tap in with your cell phone, because the towers are a medium, you're not getting faster internet. You're just tapping in to the ether where you are and to different ethers across the planet. Are you understanding? So even more so now, why you must cleanse your mind and cleanse your spirit and cleanse the physical body. Parasite cleanse. The third thing you do, when your spirit is awakened to this hyper game reality, they're hyper gaming us in the matrix, is that you must take spiritual baths. Oh my God, spiritual baths is of the devil. There's a reason why your ancestors used to do it. Oh, my ancestors are of the devil. No, your ancestor had sense. How could you put the food into your stomach? And that's from God. But when you bathe in the plant that God made, all of a sudden it's unholy. People, listen. Did anyone come to class today? I mean, did anyone come to class today? How are you putting the food that so-called God made into your mouth and it's sanctified because God made it, right? But when you take the same plants God made and bathe in it, all of a sudden you're a sinner and it's unholy and it's witchcraft. Thank you, E. Carter. I guess E. Carter is the only one who took class today. You must bathe in herbs. You must take spiritual baths. You don't believe me? Then why do you baptize in religion? Elizabeth, welcome. Taking a spiritual bath is of the devil. Why do you take spiritual baths? And your Bible says you must be born of water and spirit. But then when I tell you, you must be born of the very thing that is everywhere present, except if you live in a desert, all of a sudden I'm a witch. Does that make sense? You must take spiritual baths. You know why? Has anyone ever taken a spiritual bath on this live stream? I'm asking a question. Is there anyone here who's ever taken a spiritual bath? It doesn't have to be mine, but you take a bath from a bathing professional. Kimberly, Genesis, chemistry. Those of you who's taken the spiritual baths, when you came up out of the water, how did you feel? Seema, Elizabeth, those of you who's taken spiritual baths, when you came up out of the water from the bath, Genesis said lighter, E. Carter said brand new, chemistry said your herbs are very powerful, E. Carter said lighter. Anybody else? Cleansed. Cleansed. So those are the three things that's a must for those of you who are now in the Great Awakening. Those of you who are now in the Great Awakening. There are people who pave the road for you to be where you are. And many of them are unsung heroes. They don't get the big platform. They don't get invited to the big groups. They're unsung heroes. But they paid the price for you to awaken. Now that you're awake, a lot of people are getting the credit who just came onto the scene. Slept good, like weights lifted off of me. You know why you have to take a spiritual bath when you awake? Because there are bondages that cannot be removed. There are entities that can only be removed. And then slept good. Not only that, when you come up out of the water, how many of you, when you came up out of the water after you took a spiritual bath, all of a sudden your spiritual powers activated? Madam Stardust, that's okay. Welcome. Okay, so watch this. Tomorrow we're going to go into those. It's already an hour. We're going to go into those who took the spiritual bath. I have never met a person who was on the path of regeneration, and when they bathed in pure, high vibration, electrical water, I have never met a person who came out of the bath that their spiritual powers did not activate. They may not know what their powers are, but it's activated. Go get it, 38. So these are some of the things on the positive side of the spiritual awakening. It's already an hour. Tomorrow, I'm going to do another live stream where we go into those who wake up and go deeper into slavery. They're awake. They're not asleep, people. They're not asleep anymore. They are awake, but they are awake and they're choosing to go deeper into slavery. Chanelli, welcome. With Blue and Serochi, okay? So listen, tomorrow we're going to go into part 2 about the Great Awakening, the negative side, and what you need to do, those of you who are awake, because the Great Awakening brings a great resistance against the evil. But here's what happens. 2 camps are formed, people. 2 camps will form. 2 camps will form. All right, guys. So let me get off of here. I want you to think about this. There's a whole lot more I can tell you, but it's already an hour and 4 minutes. Tomorrow we'll do a part 2. But also, Thursday, 12 to 2. Be there. Be there for class. I posted it right here. Thursday, 12 to 2. Be in class, 12 to 2 on Thursday. Friday, it's changed. It's no longer 10 to 12. Friday, it's 8 to 10. 8 to 10. Friday, it's 8 to 10. see you on Thursday or Friday. Also, if anyone wants to donate, I have a very important trip coming up. Can't talk too much about it, but if you want to donate, go ahead and donate. Thank you, everyone. I'll see you tomorrow. Love you. Take care of yourself.